My name is Eric. I am 42 years old. I am married, got a couple of dogs and a house here in Helena. My path to college, up until about 6 years ago, I was working as an over-the-road truck driver, doing pretty successfully at that industry, making great money, being pretty good at what I was doing. Part that got me to change career paths was I was the victim of a drunk driving accident. A really good friend of mine slid me a pamphlet for Helena College and said that maybe I should look into either the programming or the networking side. And read the pamphlet, did a little bit more research, and decided that's the leap that we're taking.
My name is Christy McDowell. I was born in Bozeman, Montana. My path to college is I graduated from Whitehall High School. I originally planned on going to MSU for equine science. Wanted to experience more of the career field before I committed to loans and all of that. So I worked at an equine-only facility for 3.5 years. Life surprised us a little bit in the meantime, and we had our first kiddo. And then kids change life. Kind of the next phase of your life you start thinking about, and I looked at a job at the hospital at Bozeman Health in Bozeman, and they have an imaging center there. So I started there as a tech aide, was there for about 2 years when I decided to go back and look into radiology again.
My name is Todd Smith. I live in Polson. I never graduated. I actually took a 13-year plan, and school was just never my thing. My path to get me here started with my 5th time to treatment, and I was told by a counselor that I should go to school and become an addictions counselor. And in that moment in time, my entire life changed because I had an idea. I never considered school to be a thing, so I got a GED, got into the University of Montana where I have a bachelor's degree.
My name is Laura Boyd, and I am a veteran. I spent 8 years in the Navy. I was a hospital corpsman, and I decided to come back home after I got out. I lived in Billings for roughly about a year and moved up to Great Falls. I worked for an accounting firm here just as basic admin and decided that I should probably go back to school. So I decided to go into the accounting field, and I do not regret it. There are some times where the stress gets to you and you just don't think you have it in you, but you realize that it's mind over matter and you can do it. So I decided to stick with accounting because I wanted it to be fun.
The challenges that I faced on my path to school and in school itself, a lot of it was the optics. I became the old guy heading back into a technology program. The way that I overcame that is by working hard. When somebody thinks that it's not within my skill set to accomplish something, that does help motivate me. If they say you can't do it, it's fun to do it and make the dean's list while you're at it.
Some challenges I have encountered are balancing work, family, school. I have a wonderful spouse who has picked up everything that he needed to do and everything that's been asked of him. Having more online options, that was great learning for me to be able to not have to drive to Butte a couple times a week and could, work from home on schoolwork stuff.
It is not as hard as it seems. It gives you a little bit of anxiety because it's the fear of the unknown, but there are so many people here that are willing to say, hey, how's it going? What do you need help with? Oh, I have the answer to this. Here, if we go to this location, you'll be able to get your answers. If they don't know the answer, they can help you find it. And it's a lot more friendly than what you see on the TV. This place is not like that. You can do it. They help you through everything, especially if you have questions. If you're struggling, you reach out to an instructor and they work with you.
They had tutors for biology. They had tutors for Peter, helped me edit papers. I mean, it was just tutors for this, tutors for any resources that I needed. Trio seemed to have available, and if they didn't, they would arrange it. It was incredible how much help is out there if you just, show up and try.
Well, I figured college would be more lecturing, people talking at you versus with you, and you have to find time after class for the instructors to answer your questions, where instead we were able to actually answer and get our questions worked through in class. The classes were a little bit smaller, which was kind of nice. You got to work with other people, you got to meet other people.
I didn't have any expectations because I'd never been to school before. I didn't know what it was going to be like. I didn't know. I just knew that I had this idea that this is what I wanted to do, and it just kept me showing up the next day, the next day, the next day.
Even though my path to college and in college may have been unique, I think my best piece of advice would be not to begrudge yourself the time it takes to find the right path, but when you do, don't let anything stop you.
My advice would be to be sure it's what you want to do. It's a big commit, and it's definitely something that took me a long time to think about, and I'm happy I made the choice, but it could be a very strong challenge if you're not well prepared for it and really committed to it being what you want to do.
My advice for anybody going back to school is you never know how strong you can be until being strong is the only option you got. Like if your back's against the wall, if you're 40-some years old and you have this idea that you want or that you could be something, don't let fear get in the way.
Going out and experiencing the workforce, when you come into the college, you're going to have a better understanding of what you're doing and how it applies because you've already been out there, you've seen it. My advice, take that and use it, especially when writing papers. You can use your own experience to answer the questions.